I've been gifted another beautiful morning to continue my journey from the far north at 54 degrees north latitude in Cartwright, Labrador, where I departed on September 11th, a heart-wrenching date, certainly easy to remember. Nonetheless, that day I had to remain focused on the journey ahead as I rode south on a gravel road about 100 kilometers to my first campsite. Many months later, here I am in Bolivia. I believe this is the fourth day I've woken up in this country. It is very still at the moment. This has been normal so far as the sun heats the surface of the planet, the lakes and the land and the mountains. I will discover which way the wind's going to blow. Yesterday, I had a strong headwind at times and it slowed me down. I was hoping to ride 128 miles or thereabouts. Instead, I rode 100, which of course is worthy of celebration. Today, I'm hoping to ride 116 to get back on track with yesterday's agenda. Otherwise, if the wind's in my face, I'll ride 88 and rest at that particular location. I just enjoyed 3 amazing empanadas, 2 con pollo and 1 con queso. Folks just making these items either inside and traveling outdoors, or in this case, she has an oven which is placed just behind her little stand. And momentarily, I think she's going to sell out. So I was fortunate to come along when I did, to sit in the sun and sip a Coca-Cola and talk a little Spanish with her too. Closing the last 3 kilometers to the community where I hope to sleep tonight. It's an unmarked hospedaje, and the directions on iOverlander are to ask the locals. I sure hope it's open because I don't think there's a second option in town. Worst case, I'll eat something and then roll out of town and probably camp. Today was another difficult day. Yesterday, about half the day was reasonable. The rest of the day I had moderate headwinds. Today, a headwind greeted me. It built to moderate, but then the majority of the day was a moderate crosswind. Never a pleasant thing. I asked the first local, a young lady. She sent me to the middle of town here with some confidence. So I'm thinking there might actually be an active hospedaje somewhere here. I'll have to keep looking around now and ask at least one more person. I'm also hoping that if I can't buy some cooked food, I can at least buy a little something in a tienda. Well, it was quite a search. No surprise, one person told me there was nothing here. but several told me there was a place, but I struggled to understand them. I look forward to learning much more Spanish after the tour is over. It is my intention still to go someplace for at least 3 months in Central or South America and continue my education in that language. So back to this evening, it did turn out to be marked, though the sign is by no means obvious. It's marked as a pension, which is unusual in this part of the world. I've just spoken to the woman who owns the space. It seems like at least one child was close by. I spoke to her through that open window over my left shoulder, and I think she's now preparing a room for 30 Bolivianos, which is less than $5. There's no hot water, there's no Wi-Fi, but for the cost, and I assure you, there's nothing else here in town. And the closest that I'm aware of is another most of 30 miles to the south. So I'm grateful to have a space, and I really liked her. She is obviously a kind person, and I always do appreciate having someone like that close by when I'm in a new space like this village.